Hi, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Cheyenne.
And this is
Conbini Cult. Yay!
Welcome to another episode.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a depressing topic today, but it is interesting nonetheless, so I wanted to talk about it.
I think so. I mean, we've got a very calm setup. I think we have some flowers in the back for our watchers out there. But
got some purple orchids that my mother-in-law gave me for the new house.
Yeah, they're very pretty. And again, if you're watching the pod today, we're very on theme of the topic for today. So yeah, you want to just get into your personal update while we jump into it?
Yeah, well, actually, before the life updates, maybe just how we got onto this topic in the first place.
Yeah, maybe not just jump into death, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody had tagged our account on TikTok, and they were like, you guys should talk about this kind of stuff on the podcast. I'm like, okay, what is this video? So it was an interview, like a street interview type style, on the topic of, with the increasing Muslim population in Japan, of course, in Islam, you cannot be cremated, which is the primary form of
burial
and how they deal with the deceased. Here, it's 99% cremation. So, of course, that kind of clashes a bit. So, yeah, he was just asking
people how they felt about, possibly building more cemeteries for Muslim burial. And just getting the opinions of different, of course, Japanese people. And it was very, I guess, just based on the video, mixed opinions, but it was very strong. Like, you can tell how can I word it? Like, it was just very, people feel very strongly, I think, about the topic.
Yeah, I think it's a valid question to ask people, but I am curious because he only showed people's responses. We don't know what exactly he asked them.
That is very true, actually. Yeah.
That's a good point, right?
Yeah, that is a good point. I never really thought about that because the way some of them reacted was just very strongly.
Like, I will not allow this. Like,
yeah, it's
so
almost,
I wonder what he asked them.
I wonder what he asked them, or if he just gave them, like, fake news almost.
Like a sensationalized view of, like, they are taking over Japan, trying to change the customs here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and then of
course you're going to get an answer like that.
So go ahead and watch the video if you haven't already.
Yeah, we can't play that video here because there's some weird background music. It's like action movie background music.
Okay.
I don't know. Personally, that irritated me a little bit. But I think also the comments on that video are very nasty, like, hate-fueled comments.
And just the way the video started too, when I watched it, I just I don't know, it was like a jump scare almost. Like, geez, like some of the people just,
I'm gonna move.
Yeah, like, calm down. Like, it was very dramatic, for lack of a better word. It was just like, okay, we're just trying to have some discourse about the topic. Nothing has been decided that I know of, and that
we'll talk about that a little more in detail. But yeah, I mean, I know we got to be a little bit clickbaity these days because the algorithm favors that, but just based on the commenters on this video and that weird background music and stuff, I kind of feel like this account is just kind of provoking people in that way.
For sure.
As many street interviewers do.
Yes.
But there was one lady on there who, she said something like, here we say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When Japanese people go abroad, they follow all the rules. Yeah. You'll never hear about Japanese people behaving badly abroad. And that is simply not true.
Yeah, in what world is that lady living in? Yeah. Do you want to talk about some of the cases?
Yeah, some of the examples. I mean, there was that very famous case of the cannibal man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Where was he? In Paris?
France, yeah. In Paris, France.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure,
he came back to Japan and became a celebrity.
Yeah, it doesn't involve eating people. Yeah. And we're not making a joke of, the victim or anything like that. It's horrifying, but it's also, if you're going to think about Japanese people not behaving badly when going abroad, case in point, that guy who literally ate a woman, but okay,
Yes. Then there was a case that we talked about in one of our episodes where a man in Singapore had assaulted a student there, a college student, and they wanted to cane him in Singapore because that is one of the consequences of rape
Yeah.
in Singapore. And then the Japanese government was trying to get him extradited because they're like, oh, it's too harsh.
Caning, what's harsher than caning?
Being
Sexual
assaulted.
assault. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then also more recently, did you hear about this? There was a video that was going viral of these high school students in Kyoto who were stealing from a souvenir shop in Bali.
Oh, no, I didn't hear about that one. But that's also just very disappointing. And again, there's bad behavior everywhere, but just if we're going to base it off of that one lady's comment where she says, Japanese people are perfect, role models. Whenever we go abroad, we always follow the rules. There was 3 examples right there that just contradicted her point. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. They're human. There's good and bad people, as there are anywhere in the world. There are some people who will follow the customs of where they're visiting and some people who don't give a crap. And you being from Hawaii, where many Japanese tourists visit.
I've kind of seen it all, not just Japanese tourists, visitors from all over the world visit Hawaii, and just in my time growing up there and then also working in the sales and tourism industry, from personal experience, I can also say that they aren't the most, not all, but, nobody is perfect, right? And so if we're going to say, that none of their bad behavior exists when they go abroad, I can confidently confirm that is a lie, you know? So anyway, I won't get into those details because I can go on and on about all of my experiences in Hawaii, but let's just get into, this episode.
Okay. So just our little disclaimer before we start the episode. So neither of us are Muslim, so we cannot speak on behalf of the Muslim population here. We're just going to speak about it generally and mostly talk about funeral and burial customs that are common practice in Japan. So to say that Muslims are taking over Japan is buffoonery, and we're not tolerating, as always, any hate in the comments. No hate speech.
Nope. All right.
Okay. The things that we will cover today. So when did cremation become a common practice? Funeral customs in Japan, cemeteries and how the dead are honored, and then we'll get into a bit of Japan's Muslim population and the Muslim grave sites that do exist already here.
Okay. So just an interesting point to start off with, death is seen as something impure in Shintoism. As a result, most funerals in Japan follow Buddhist rituals, and the deceased is cremated and buried in a family grave. Unlike Europe or America's burial customs, the tombstone, or the hakaishi, is the entire family's marker. And that was from Voyapon.
Voyapon? Yeah, like a travel type company here. Yeah, I work with them sometimes.
Very nice. Cool.
But yeah, their website's got some useful cultural information on it too. When did cremation become the most common practice in Japan? So from my understanding, one of the main reasons for that was the lack of burial space. Because Japan is geographically not a huge country, so there's only so much space that you have for bodies in the ground.
And I think one person in that street interview that we mentioned at the beginning of the episode also said that.
Yeah, he did say that.
So I think it's like, I don't want to say common knowledge. I mean, I didn't really know that at first, but it's pretty, you can assume, Japan is pretty small and there's not a lot of space in general for that.
Yeah, I think most people would give that answer if you talked about it. So yeah, but what are the facts?
Well, introduced to Japan with Buddhism. What the fuck? Buddhist. Okay. Introduced to Japan with Buddhism in the late 7th century, cremation was initially an elite practice for royalty and clergy for nearly a millennium. It began spreading to commoners during the Kamakura period and became more widespread in the Edo area. A shift occurred in the early Meiji period with a brief 1873 ban aiming at elevating Shinto was reversed by 1875 due to pressing urban land shortages and public health concerns, leading the government to later promote modern cremation. The practice became near universal in the 20th century, driven by post-war urbanization, extreme land scarcity, and the 1948 Graves and Burials Law, culminating in today's rate of over 99%.
Yeah, 99%.
That's a big number.
So basically everybody is getting cremated these days. Almost everyone. But yeah, just that 1948 act, it was essentially something that established standardized sanitary practices for dealing with the deceased, and that was what made cremation the dominant practice here.
Yeah, I'm curious what happens at a Japanese funeral.
Yes. Have you ever been to a funeral here?
In Japan?
Or back home?
No, back home, yes. I've never attended a Japanese funeral, so I can't say, you know, with so much personal experience, the differences, but just based on what I've seen on TV and, you know, general knowledge, it is quite different, at least a typical funeral in Hawaii versus in Japan.
Yeah, you also have different culture.
Yeah,
Hawaii.
because different culture, and I mean, obviously, the religion is different too. A lot of the funerals I've been back home were for... I think they're just standard Christian funerals. So a lot of I've been to open casket before, but the atmosphere is just different overall. I think in Japan, we'll get into it. It's just very serious, and I'm not saying it's not serious at all in Hawaii too. And this depends on the family, but it's more of a celebration of life. In our experience, and so you're not wearing all black. You're kind of just wearing like brighter colors. I've never attended a funeral, I think, that I've worn all black before. I think you just wear like, I don't know, aloha print or aloha attire or something. And you go and you tell stories about the person who passed and everything. So it's still a sad day, but it's not as like somber, I think, as a Japanese funeral in my experience. I've only been to 3, I think, in my life. Yeah. Yeah,
I would say, because I mean, the only funerals I attended in the U.S. were... like for my grandpa when I was in middle school. So I was very young then. But I remember, I think it is pretty common to wear all black, depending on the religion. Yeah. Or the customs of the place. So yeah, wearing all black. And then there was an open casket and people gave speeches about him. So a lot of people try to be, you know, funny and lighthearted in their speeches to, celebrate the person's life. So it's like serious and unserious not unserious.
Yeah, it's like really hard to word it and just make it sound like we're taking light of, you know, funerals back home.
Like remembering the good times.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You remember the good times. I remember I went to a funeral for my uncle, and his daughter danced a hula. Because, I mean, that's also, you know, really big in Hawaii too. She danced hula. That was like her dad's favorite song, you know, and so that was just to commemorate him and give, you know, his memory, I think, more meaning, you know, saying goodbye to him. And so it sounds kind of, I don't know, too lighthearted, a little insensitive when you say like, we dance at funerals, but it's not like because we're happy they're gone. It's more just like to honor their life. So, yeah.
But I think the atmosphere is different depending if it's like an elderly person or if it was a more tragic.
Yeah. I mean, that is very true, you know.
Death, yeah.
I've been to a funeral for a younger person. It was, the vibe of it was obviously a lot different for that one. And so, yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So in Japan, the dress code is all black, conservative attire. So they do have funeral-specific clothing that you can buy at stores like Yofuku no Aoyama.
Yeah, I mean, not making light of the situation, but I just want to say one thing about Japan, they're going to stick to a uniform. Like, we talked about this in the wedding episode, how almost all of the attire just for guests looks the same. They're all just some different degree of a lace dress, for example, for women, and they all have to be a specific color. And same for funerals here. I can always tell, you know, if they're taking public transportation, for example, like you just know.
Oh, they came from a wedding.
They came from a wedding, or they came from a funeral, or they're heading to one. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I have been to one funeral here. It was only the wake because I was not family, but I don't have those specific funeral clothing. So if you, because I mean, death is a sudden thing, so you might not have time to go out and buy something. So I just wore kind of like sort of business like attire that was all black. Yeah.
And that was okay? No one was, you know...
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of us did in that case. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go through the different parts of the funeral.
So first you have the wake, or the otsuya, and this is when the body is laid out, often at a funeral home or the family's home, and a Buddhist priest will chant sutras. Attendees offer incense to an urn placed in front of the deceased.
So depending on... I mean, a lot of times it is an open casket, I think. But yeah, of course, it depends on the family and it depends on the condition. Because if it was an accident or something, maybe you can't show the body.
Yeah.
So then you have the funeral ceremony, kokubetsushiki, or soushiki, it's a general word for funeral, that's held the day after the wake, led by a Buddhist priest. It involves chanting to guide their spirit to the afterlife, offering incense, eulogies, and some may place flowers in the casket too. The deceased receive a new Buddhist name, kaimyou, to prevent them from returning when called. The cremation takes place immediately after the ceremony, attended only by close family.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Okay.
The Buddhist name thing is
I didn't
interesting.
know about that, yeah.
I have seen it on a gravestone, but I didn't realize that that was the reason for it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, their spirit doesn't come back when you call them.
I like that. That's really interesting. Okay. Then after that is the cremation and bone picking ceremony called the kotsuage. So once the cremation is complete, the family uses special chopsticks to transfer the bones into an urn, starting with the feet and ending with the Adam's apple. This act is performed with great care and reverence, symbolizing the family's final act of service to their loved one. Can we have a little cultural moment? This is why, if you've ever seen in videos about like what not to do in Japan, or these are like really considered rude, if you've ever seen anything about passing food, like if you're going out to eat with friends, passing food from chopstick to chopstick, this is why that's really bad, because it is a custom. Yeah. Yes. And you did not do this at the funeral you attended because it's only for the close personal family, right?
Yeah, so I went for the wake, and that was the day before this part happened.
I see.
Yes. So guests receive a small parting gift as thanks for attending, often valued at 1/4 to 1/2 the condolence money given. It's always
always getting a gift, I guess. All right. I learned that one for the first time.
Before going home, you may be given a small packet of salt for purification. Sprinkle this on yourself before entering the house to cleanse yourself of impurities after attending the funeral.
Mm-hmm. And then there is the condolence money, or the kouden. So the amount typically ranges from 3,000 to 30,000 yen, depending on your relationship with the deceased. It is to help cover the cost of the service. There's a special envelope for it called the kouden bukuro, and you hand this in discreetly at the reception desk and never directly to the family members.
Yeah.
Another new thing
I didn't know
had no idea about. Yeah, I didn't know. Did you do that?
No, I feel sorry that I didn't, but I think most of us probably didn't know.
Oh, that you're supposed to give money? I mean, I never would have guessed. But do you do this in the States?
I think maybe only close family members would. Maybe not as a gift, but maybe just everybody chipping in for the funeral.
Something, yeah. Because my experience with funerals back home too, I was pretty young. Like I think the oldest I ever was in high school or middle school. So even if my mom was giving condolence money, I never saw it. Like I didn't even know that was like a thing to do. And so, I had no idea this also existed in Japan too. And like similar to the wedding episode, it does depend on your relationship, which is again very, very Japanese. I'm laughing not at the topic of funerals, just at the custom of like there's so many rules in Japan that like it like follows you to death, really, So that the more you know, is what I'm getting at. But
yes,
okay,
and there would be a return gift for the gift that you gave. So there's a lot.
Yeah.
So did you have any comments?
Oh, I had a quick comment about where was it? About the bone passing. What did we call it? The bone picking ceremony. So the kotsuage. I saw this. Let me bring up TV. No, it's actually a TV show, but it's called Getsuyo Kara Yofukashi. It's like a Monday late night show. And one of the hosts, he's actually from Hirakata in Osaka. He's like a he's like an idol back in the day. Anyway, they do street interviews, but like not like social media street interviews. Like what's a good example? Who does street interviews in the US? Like Billy on the Street or whatever. Like it's for TV, kind of like how Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know who does it, whatever. They ask people different things depending on the time of the year. And I think, I forgot what the question was, but it was kind of something like, what have you been keeping a secret? Or what is something you want to get off your chest? And they just ask like random people on the street. And
did they have their faces blurred when they said it?
No, because some of them is like, I secretly like keep all my baby teeth. Like they're very like lighthearted or whatever, It's just silly things. But there was one lady where she admitted during this, I think it was for her dad, the kotsuage ceremony, the bone picking ceremony, when they're doing it with their family, she discreetly took one of the bones home with her. I think she has a couple of the bones still at her house because she was just like mourning so much she couldn't let go of her dad basically and put it into that what is it, urn for cremation. So yeah, she just confessed, I'm sorry, Dad, I still have you, but I can't, like, she just can't get rid of it. Yeah. So it was really interesting. I'm just kind of curious how she went about, like, is there a funeral director watching your family do that, or is it just kind of you're given privacy?
I would assume because it's led by a Buddhist monk. Maybe they're kind of distracted because they're chanting the sutras. Yeah. So maybe it would be easy to. Yeah,
because I'm just curious, like, did she have a bag ready to just sneak it away? Or was it, so spontaneous, she just had to do it? I don't know. So that just kind of, reminded me of that, that one show I saw.
Oh, that reminded me of something too. Okay. The elderly couple that I taught before. So
the lady who hit you with the car or with her moped.
Not the lady who hit me on my moped. Okay. This time, the elderly couple I used to teach. Okay. As far as I know, they're still alive and healthy. Good. But she told me once about one of her friends who, when her husband passed away, she kept one of the bones and ate it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to... keep a calm reaction.
I don't think
one.
That's a common practice, but when she was retelling this, like, she was tearing up. She was like, she just loved him so much.
Oh, that she just wanted to have him be a part of her a little bit. Did she give any details about? Did she, what do you call, like, grind it up so it was like a powder? She just
not sure about that.
Like with some chicken and together with a chicken bone or something. I'm very curious how she consumed it. And I mean, I don't want to call it strange, but there's all kinds of practices that are kind of similar to that. I mean, there's some women who, eat their placenta. So it's not like the craziest thing I've heard, Yeah. Husband, if you're out there watching this, I would eat your bones too. Just kidding. Maybe. All right.
Yes. Okay. So I was also curious about the average costs of a funeral here. So roughly, the average is about 1.1 million to 1.89 million yen, which is roughly 7,500 to 12,500 USD. And apparently, that average has decreased a bit since COVID because people are keeping the funerals smaller.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I don't know why, though. It's like a lot cheaper than I was expecting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess when you compare it to the US, it is still cheaper, right?
Yeah, and we will compare it to the US because I was curious about that too.
Yeah.
But in the US, there's a lot more options. Because in Japan, you would assume that the person you'll have the ceremony that we were talking about and cremate them. But in the US, we have more options,
right? Like cremation, burial, open casket, closed casket, all that stuff.
Which all have different prices.
Crazy, but yeah.
So yeah, what are some of the average costs?
Well, for a traditional full-service burial in the U.S., it can range from $8,300 to $8,500. If you get a funeral with cremation, that's $6,000 to almost $7,000. Direct cremation, so just no service, that's around $2,000 to $200. And then a direct burial, so there's no viewing or service, it's $4,300 to around $6,000. Hawaii being one of the most expensive states, and I do not doubt that. I wonder why. I mean, just the cost of living in Hawaii is like expensive in general. Why. Is that what it is? Yeah. But we have a lot of, because there's a lot of like Catholic and Christian people in Hawaii, and a lot of Mormon too. And I think Mormons bury, right? They don't cremate.
No,
don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure, but anyway, I've been to some.
I only know soaking.
And what do you call the jumping one?
Sorry, we gotta have some lightheartedness in this episode.
Bring them young. Anyway, what is it called? Cemeteries. Like, I've been to some cemeteries in Hawaii where it's just so vast. I don't know. There's so much land space for cemeteries there. And so a lot of people get buried is like what I'm trying to say. And I think, it makes sense why it would be one of the most expensive places to have a service in the U.S.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that it's a pretty similar cost.
Yeah, that's true.
US and Japan.
I don't know why I was thinking it's like $20,000 or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, for both the US and for Japanese ones. Maybe it's like, in my mind, the headstone, at least for Japanese. That's
a separate cost, I think.
Okay. Yeah. That's why I was thinking it's going to be so much more expensive.
This is only the service and the...
Well, there you go. All right, there it is. But what happens if you can't afford all that? It's very expensive.
Exactly. So we'll talk about if you can't afford it in Japan and also the US. Because we're American. That's what we're going to talk about. But of course, if you're from a different country and there are, interesting things about burials and funerals and stuff there, like,
and
please,
the cost,
please share it with
Let
us.
us know.
Yeah. So if you can't afford a funeral in Japan, for individuals in Japan who cannot afford a standard funeral, the primary alternative is chokuso, or direct cremation, a basic service costing approximately 100,000 yen to 300,000 yen that includes only the essential transportation, legal paperwork, and the cremation itself, foregoing all ceremonial elements. In cases of deeper financial hardship, a structured public safety net exists for those who are eligible for the National Livelihood Protection Program, Seikatsu Hogo, can apply for public assistance, Sosai Fujo, through their municipal welfare office, which will fully or largely cover the cost of a direct cremation, provided the application is submitted and approved before the funeral takes place.
All right, good to know. At least there's a lot of support there.
Yeah, there's stuff you can look into and apply for. So.
But as for the US, if you can't afford a funeral, basically direct cremation is the cheapest in that case. Other options include government assistance, if that exists in
I feel
some
like
places.
that's just like a legend
a thing
or something.
They say, who knows, right?
Apparently it exists.
Charity, crowdfunding, or religious services, or donating to science.
That seems...
I've heard that term before, like donate my body to science when I die.
Yeah, I mean, if you choose to do that, okay. But if you're like, I can't afford this funeral for like my uncle, so let me donate him to science, that's so depressing. Yeah,
that is. I've heard of like crowdfunding is really big, like GoFundMe, please help support, for the service or whatever.
You see that a lot.
That's really not uncommon. Are you an organ donor?
I am.
You are? Me as well.
But I don't know how that works in Japan.
Do they have that option? I have a driver's license. I should know this, actually.
That's a good question. Because, in the U.S., it's on your driver's license, whether you're a donor or not. I am.
I feel like...
I would be here,
it's
too.
On your license. I feel like I've had to answer that question somewhere. I think on your My Number card, actually.
Oh, okay.
That option exists. I feel like,
If I ever updated mine, I might know.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those options where, I feel like this is going to be really expensive, but there's things now where if you can cremate your body and then put it into kind of like a biodegradable urn and it gets planted into a tree, basically.
Yeah, we will talk about that later.
Okay. See, I did it again. Okay.
It's okay.
Sorry. All right, moving on.
Okay. On a more depressing note, still on the topic of if you cannot afford a service in the U.S., so the body is held for about a month until they find next of kin, in the case where it's like an unknown person. If no one comes forward to claim the body after this period, the government arranges for a public disposition. The standard and most cost-effective method is cremation, after which the remains are stored for a set time before being buried in a collective grave or placed in a communal columbarian niche. I don't know what that means. Yeah. There are designated grave sites to dump the ashes or bury people who are unknown. A pauper's grave refers to a burial place, often a shared or common grave, for individuals who die without the financial means for a private funeral or who are unclaimed by family. Hart Island in New York has one of the largest and most well-known potter's fields in the U.S. with over 1 million burials, many of whom died from AIDS.
Oh.
There are 114,000 to 150,000 cases annually, with 2.4% of total U.S. deaths going unclaimed.
Dang, that's a really lot. Sad. Yeah, that's really sad. That is such a high number.
Yeah.
Huh. At least they get put somewhere. Yeah. I'm surprised they don't. I'm not saying they should do this. I just assume if they're like unclaimed or whatever, that those bodies all got donated to science or something, or organ. I don't know if, there's probably some legal reason behind it, right? If you're not like marked as an organ donor or they can't defile your body like that. I'm not too sure how that works.
Well, I think it's because you need to know if the person gave permission or not to donate their organs or their body.
Well, at least they
consent in that regard.
Yeah, well, they're at least,
at least
officials,
have consent.
And unfortunately, not all, but that's another case of nasty necrophilia, but okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sorry.
Alrighty.
But yeah, have you ever, on a more fun side note, have you ever heard about the association of spider lilies with death?
No, actually.
Really?
Mm-mm.
You've never seen them in anime or anything?
No. See, considering like how much TV and movies and whatever I watch, that's just one of those things right over my head. I never like would have picked that up.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot of people don't really plant spider lilies near their home because it's kind of like a bad omen because it's associated with death and graves and also fires. It's like you're inviting fire into your home too.
Oh, is it because they're just so fiery looking? Yeah.
I guess so.
Because those are the red ones, right? Where they're just like up and...
Yeah. And it would also keep animals from eating the bodies.
Oh, I see.
Keep them away from that. But just a little bit of background on that.
Okay. The Japanese legend of spider lilies growing where people died originated from their historical use as grave protectors, as their poisonous bulbs were planted around burial sites to deter scavenging animals, forging a visual link with death. This practical association was then profoundly reinforced by Buddhist culture, where the flower's name, higambana, flower of the other shore, connects it to the autumnal equinox festival for the dead and folklore that it blooms along the path to the afterlife, with the sudden leafless emergence of red blossoms cementing its reputation as a ghostly symbol of the underworld.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting.
That
and
is.
Also, yeah, the way that they grow, they just kind of pop up out of nowhere. So you're like, ooh.
Ooh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense.
They are
now.
very beautiful, though.
Yeah.
And they bloom for, of course, a very short time. Maybe end of September, early October, depending on the weather that year.
So are white orchids not any... Is that an American thing then? Like how that kind of symbolizes death?
I thought chrysanthemum was the funeral flower.
Maybe that's just like my grandma being like superstitious with that. Yeah. She my
Not
grandma's
from my
Korean, but so I don't know if it's like a personal thing for her or something that was passed down to her along the way. But like, we just know to never get her white flowers, especially like orchids, because she's like, oh, so you think I'm going to die? Like, you know, so maybe that was just a personal thing. Okay, well, spider lilies, I see.
I just remember we never talked about the life updates.
We didn't. Do you want to record it now?
Do you want to do it at the end?
Yeah,
or should I add it later?
Whatever's easier.
Let's do it at the end.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
So I'm just realizing we totally skipped over our life updates in chat. So if you are interested in that, because it is interesting stuff, we're going to do that at the end.
Please stick around if you care about our life.
Our personal lives. But I did have one life update that was relevant to this topic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it now.
I want to... Okay. So, tell me.
Yes. At New Year's, so that's a big time in Japan for families to get together, my grandma-in-law... Like as we usually have a lunch on New Year's Day with the family. So yeah, my husband's grandma, she suddenly asked his dad like, "Oh, can you take my picture?" And then he does, and I was like, "Oh, what do you need the picture for?" And she was like, "Oh, it's for my funeral photo." I'm like, "Why do you want that?" Yeah. And she was like, "Because I look good now, so I want to take it now."
We love a diva. Who is that diva?
Yeah.
Nice.
And the word for it is ie. E-A-E. Ie. So when she said, like, do you know Ie? I was like, this thing that we're in?
Yeah.
No, my photo.
Oh my gosh, that's such a like, why Japanese people? Japanese is so hard when it comes to pronouncing words like that. So you have like Ie house and then what? Is it like Ie versus Ie or something? Like the inflection
No,
changes?
it's like three. It's like E-A-E.
E-A. Okay.
Ie.
I see. Yay!
Yeah, kind of. But I feel like that's such a very old person thing. They get pretty morbid at a certain point.
Yes.
But she's very genki. I think, I don't know how old she is. I think she's in her 80s.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
Very healthy. You saw her at the wedding.
I met her at your wedding. She's so friendly. Nice. She's so friendly. She talked to me and she was just like, oh my God, because I was pregnant at the time. And she was like, how many months are you? Wow. She was just so talkative and cute. So I don't know, for just me knowing that side of her, for her to be like, take this photo of me because I look good now for my funeral. It's like, okay, whoa, whiplash. Yeah. Did she look good though? Did the picture turn out? how she liked?
I think so. She's always cute. So
yeah, she is always cute. Also, speaking of the iei, is there a certain pose you have to do for it? Because from what I see in like movies, for example, it looks like a portrait almost, kind of like a driver's license photo. There's just a clear background and it's very serious, and they're usually looking straight. And for funerals for older people, it kind of like makes sense why it's so coordinated like that. I feel like the grandma in this case, she kind of is just preparing, and so they dress up and they go out and take a nice photo like that. Like I saw that also in When Life Gives You Tangerines. It's like a Korean drama. A character did that because they just knew their time was coming. But I wonder like how it works for people who suddenly pass, if they just use...
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe they just use a good picture,
a good photo of them. I've seen this is like really dark, but again in like movies and stuff, if it's a child or for a middle schooler, for example, they use the like school photo. Again, it's something very uniform and serious, like something with a blank background, but I guess it depends on the family too. I'm just curious.
Yeah, and I think those are the same photos that you often see displayed in people's homes after the family member has passed. Like a lot of times it's not on the ceiling, but you know what I mean? It's like propped up
there's
on
like a
beam.
shelf that's right underneath the roof. Yeah.
Or above the butsudan.
Above the butsudan,
yeah.
And it's in the same
altar.
like format as, I don't know if you've ever worked in like a public school, but they have kind of just a row of photos of all of the principals of the school in there too. And it's just like, I don't know, it's very, because none of them smile usually too. So it's a very like dark atmosphere sometimes. Yeah. Okay.
Well, speaking of times when families get together, there's also the holiday in August.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit about Obon?
Of course.
Either from here or your own words, whatever you...
Well, in your words, Obon is a Buddhist tradition which takes place every August when the spirits of ancestors are believed to return to the world of the living. This is a big time for families to reunite and visit graves, and there are also many festivals during this time. There's Toro Nagashi, or the floating lanterns, at the end of Obon that will guide those spirits back to the other side. And so there's also some superstitions during Obon, like don't go swimming during that period because the spirits will pull you down the water and drown you, which is terrifying.
Have you heard that?
No. And the reason why it's so terrifying to me is because in Hawaii, we have just historically, there's a lot of Japanese, people there. And like, we also have a floating lantern ceremony at the end of summer, kind of like during Obon too. And it's specifically, for honoring the dead as well. And so you get a paper lantern and you write, your little messages and stuff. Yeah. And we put it into the ocean and it'll like float. And then we have nets up to a certain degree. So they're not, we're not wasting the, we're not littering or anything. Yeah. So you push them out and it looks like super pretty. It's at night and you just have your little moment of celebration of life. But as someone who has worked as the staff to go collect those lanterns, like someone's got to go collect those lanterns from the ocean, right? And so not me, just like paddling out. Yeah, me and my dad would do it every year, like paddle out on the surfboard because you have to like paddle out and like collect them and put them into a boat to be disposed of, basically. And now that I know you don't go swimming during Obon because spirits will pull you down the water and drown you.
That was risky.
Yeah, I guess I gotta go tell my dad, like, I'm never gonna work that event ever again because that's scary. Because it's at night too. It's like at 10 p.m. when you're paddling out. Yeah. Sorry, Dad. Okay.
So be cautious.
Yeah.
But I do really like those Toro Nagashi festivals. They have them all over Japan, but I went to one in Fukui before, and like my grandma had passed away a couple months before, so I had a lantern for her.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah. And they also collect them. They don't just let them go into the ocean.
Yeah.
There's a net at the end of it.
So same concept then. Cool.
Yes.
There's also visiting graves in Japan. Have you ever done this with your... Because, we don't have our own family here in Japan, but it's called hakamairi here. So when you visit the graves, you actually clean the tombstones of that family and... offer, flower, like change out the flowers and offer incense and stuff. Have you ever done that before?
I did that with my ex.
Okay. Yeah. I I didn't know it was like, what do you call that you full on wash the tombstone.
Yeah, they have
yourself.
like a water area.
Yeah.
Like you fill up your bucket and it has the same type of ladle that you use to wash your hands at shrines. It's like that, and depending how dirty the grave is, you could just rinse it off, or you might have to scrub it.
We did the same thing, like at least for my family who were buried back in Hawaii. We have we don't like scrub because their tombstone, it's not like, what do you call, protruding from the ground. Like here in Japan, it's like a very clear big like block, like something you need to like clean off and stuff. But here ours, it's like a plate embedded into the ground, like the grass. So you like wipe that off, or maybe wipe it down and change out the flowers and stuff. But that's kind of all we can do. Yeah, I don't remember, because I don't think I've done that in the US since I was a child, but I just remember changing out the flowers. Yeah. And during hakamairi, I think, do you know if like, because I've done it once for my husband's grandfather when he passed, but I can't remember if, do you say like a little prayer or a chant, or do you just, I think some people just talk to their family, you know, give them some updates, I'm sure. I think it's whatever you feel. Yeah. Nothing set in stone of what you have to do. Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned this already, but at the cemeteries in Japan, because cremation is the primary thing, so maybe they would put the ashes in the cemetery. There's not bodies there usually. So you have like your family plot. Where the ashes go. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So then just some important memorial services. The 49th day holds significance, as it is believed the deceased spirit completes its journey to the afterlife. Memorial ceremonies to honor deceased relatives are held at specific intervals for many years, with the primary cycle lasting up to the 33rd or 50th year. The most important ceremonies, known as Nenki Hoyo, are held on the 1st, 3rd, 7th, 13th, and 33rd anniversaries of the death. It's a lot to remember. Yeah. I did also with my ex. I don't remember how many years it had been, but yeah, they had at the altar in their home, they had a Buddhist priest come there and like do the sutras. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how many years, but it was an anniversary. Does that cost money? Yes. That's how a lot of the temples make money. Oh, I see. What if I know, like, if you don't know this personally, that's fine. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. What if you want to do that, but maybe you can't afford that? I wonder if it's okay, quote unquote, to just do it yourself, or kind of, do a quick little, it is the 3rd anniversary. I honor you. That's a good question. But I also feel like depending how popular the temple is, they probably have different pricing. So there may be some more affordable temples. I see. Okay. Good to know. Yeah. Alrighty. Now we're going to get into Japan's Muslim population. Yes. Right. Okay, so how many Muslims are in Japan, actually? Well, according to sources like Nikkei Asia, the number has increased to somewhere around 350,000 to 420,000, 90% being from overseas, with the majority from countries like Indonesia, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Yes. So I was also curious how many Japanese people are Muslim. I couldn't find an exact number, but it could be in the tens of thousands. Wow. So a lot of people have converted, and it is primarily women who are married to Muslim men. Okay. Yeah, it's not very common in general for Japanese people to practice any Abrahamic religion, but of course that doesn't mean nobody does. Yeah, I mean, that was like a higher number than I thought, to be honest. Yeah. So, all right. Okay. So also I just wanted to talk a little bit about Muslim burial. This is just the information that I could find from Googling. I don't have any firsthand experience with it. For Muslims in Japan, for whom cremation is religiously forbidden, arranging a burial presents significant challenges due to severe nationwide shortage of dedicated Muslim cemeteries. The process requires coordinating with an Islamic organization like the Japan Islamic Trust, submitting necessary documents including the burial permit, and performing specific rites such as a ritual washing, shrouding, and the funeral prayer. Families often face practical hurdles like high costs, delays, and the need to transport the body long distances due to the limited facilities, compounded by ongoing local opposition to establishing new Muslim cemeteries. Yes. Yeah.
So currently there are about 10 Muslim cemeteries across Japan. These few cemeteries are concentrated in eastern Japan, primarily in the Kanto region around Tokyo, with notable sites including the Honjo Kodama Cemetery in Saitama Prefecture and others in Hokkaido, Yamanashi, Shizuoka, and Wakayama prefectures. Significantly, entire western regions like Kyushu and Chugoku have no Muslim burial grounds at all, forcing residents there to transport bodies over long distances at a great expense. In Miyagi, there were recent plans to make another burial site, but opposition from the locals and other politicians stopped the process. According to Asahi Shimbun, when media reported in late December that Miyagi Governor Yoshihiro Murai was considering building burial sites, the prefectural office was flooded with calls and emails expressing concern and opposition. Comments included,
"Is this going to move forward with public input? I'm worried about damage to the reputation of local products and environmental impact. And I'm uneasy about the increase in foreign residents."
Yep. The prefecture has received more than 2,000 emails and phone calls to date. Approximately half of these reportedly came from outside the prefecture.
Oh, come on. What does it even matter to you then? Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised by that last part.
Yeah, that
She
is...
doesn't even go here.
Like, literally, you don't even go here. But that's frustrating. But what are the costs of a Muslim burial?
Yes. So on average, maybe 200,000 or 135,000 for plot preparation and maintenance.
Yen.
Yen. Yes. Not dollars.
Yeah.
Yen. In Islamic practices, coffins are mostly used for transportation. The body will directly touch the soil once they are buried, as it is practiced in Muslim burials. Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically all I had for it. But of course, if you are Muslim, like, would you say that is accurate?
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts about it too.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to talk about some other alternative burial or cremation options. I think you mentioned before about a news story that you saw where it was like a cruise or something to scatter the ashes in the ocean.
Oh yeah, here in Japan, right? It was a while back, so I can't even remember like the contents of it. But yeah, so I'm starting to see that more. I mean, that is something that's also very common in Hawaii. I've talked about it in previous episodes. So that's kind of what I want to do. Just release me to the sea, you know? I don't need to be in an urn on your shelf watching over you or whatever. I know some people, you know, really practice that. And that's cool. But for me, no, I just want to go back to the ocean or just to the earth in some form, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. There's another thing that is kind of picking up here a little bit called tree burials, which you did start to talk about.
So it skipped my brain when I was reading over the notes on that. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, this one sounds really nice to me. Initiated in 1999 by a Zen Buddhist temple, Shounji, or also called Chishoin Temple in Iwate, it allows cremated ashes to be buried directly in woodlands or under trees so the deceased can return to nature.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Yeah.
But the one that I was kind of getting into is, I think, not being buried under a tree directly, under a tree that exists already. It was more like
a new tree.
Yeah, it sounded very much like a rich people thing, where it was like you're cremated into like a seed, basically, or like a little tiny plant, and you get potted somewhere that you want, and then like you grow from zero. Basically, was kind of like what I was getting at. I know I've heard somewhere that was also an option. Yeah. Sounds expensive though.
Okay. But speaking of putting people's ashes on the shelf.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know.
That's how my grandma is.
Yeah.
When I visited home, she was at my parents' house. I'm not sure if my mom and her siblings are kind of, you know, sharing custody of the ashes. I feel like they are, like taking turns with it.
Yeah. I'm not against it. Sorry if I sounded strongly like, that's dumb. That's not what I was getting. It's like me personally, like
everybody has a preference.
Yeah, like me with my body, just like throw me away. It's fine. Like throw me into the ocean. But if it was like my grandma, for example, I know you have this right here in the notes too, but I was thinking the same thing of like putting her in a little necklace, like in some kind of jewelry. I really like holding on to that memory of other people. It was just me. I can be tossed somewhere else. Yeah.
I don't know if the jewelry thing has caught on yet in Japan, but personally, I think that's a really nice idea too, to put somebody in a ring or a necklace or something.
Yeah.
Do that to me. Put some of me in the tree and then
half
a necklace.
Yeah. I see. Have you ever seen I think I saw it on TikTok or somewhere where it was just the main message was, just double check every kind of like, what do you call, furniture or glassware or mugs or vase or whatever that you buy at Goodwill or buy secondhand.
Oh, it might be somebody's
ashes. Yeah. And so someone was doing that. They're making a silly little video like, oh, this is such a cute little pot or whatever. And I think they were just like, ooh, like opening it up and inspecting it. And if not ashes, I mean, a very similar looking substance in there. So just be careful when you're thrifting. Yeah.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you have any final thoughts on the topic of anything we discussed today?
I mean, considering just how many, Muslims exist in Japan and are contributing to Japanese society and are in the workforce. And one of the people in that street interview we talked about mentions this as well. There's a lot of them maybe taking care of elderly Japanese people. And so it's just...
Oh, yeah. The one guy said his mother is in a nursing home and there's a lot of Muslim staff there.
And so for her. I think you can't expect that population to enter your workforce and contribute to your society and then not accommodate to them when it comes to
something
their
as
burial
important
practice.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's just you got to find a balance somewhere. I really hope 10. You said there was 10, right?
Yes. Right now, about 10.
Cemeteries, 10 Muslim cemeteries across Japan. I mean, it's better than 0, but it's also just so little.
That's a very small number compared to almost, could be 400,000 people here.
Especially because you said majority of them are also in Kanto. So it's they're not all just in the greater Tokyo area, Muslims, right? They're everywhere in Japan. So I really hope, there's going to be more space for cemeteries to be built, at least. Yeah. Hopefully soon. Yeah.
I also think, going back to that street interview, some people were saying that, they wouldn't want a new cemetery popping up in their neighborhood, which, okay. I mean, nobody wants to, wake up in the morning and look out their window and see a cemetery. So it's understandable why you wouldn't want to live right next to one. Mm-hmm. But it would be in a designated area. It's not like you're taking your morning walk and just stepping over bodies.
That is true. And also, I mean, I understand because culturally, I mean, Japanese people, we said originally were buried and then eventually led to cremation. So it's not like they never had this practice, right? Mm-hmm. But I understand it's unfamiliar to Japanese people. So I think the idea of
modern day Japanese people,
So I think the idea of, bodies being buried in the ground, I understand if it's it's not familiar to them. So they use words like scary and whoa, what if there's bugs or whatever? That's just not how it works, It's
out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's out of their comfort zone. But if you think about it, for the people who are saying, I don't want to wake up and there's a cemetery right next to me. Have you ever been to Nippori, for example, in Tokyo? If you're walking in a neighborhood, there's cemeteries everywhere. There's a huge one, So it's not completely different in that aspect, There's places all around Japan where you're kind of surrounded by a lot of cemeteries, depending where you go. Yeah. It's just my 2 cents.
It's something you don't really think about until a street interviewer asks you.
Yeah, and then it's about foreigners in Japan. So, yeah. So
my thoughts, neither of us can vote. Neither of us are Muslim, so we don't have
that much of a say.
We have our opinions, but what does it really mean? But with all the growing xenophobia right now, I mean, I think it's always been there. It's just very loud right now.
These days,
But it seems like the issue is being blown out of proportion a bit.
Definitely.
So, but let us know your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end of this topic. Oh, do you have your other life update that we want to end the episode with?
Yeah, mine is just an embarrassing story.
Tell it.
Do you want to do yours first?
Oh, okay, yeah. So speaking of death, I am saying goodbye to Osaka by the end of March. So it is now February, the beginning of February that we're recording this. We're not too sure how things are going to go from here, but my life in Osaka, dead on the topic of funerals and death. Yeah, so I will be moving to Shikoku.
Ooh.
Yeah. I have a month to move. I'm a little stressed out by that, but
you got to start packing. One of my least favorite things to do. I
really do, yeah. So please expect a lot of messages from me of like, do you want this? Do you want that? Can't take it.
I'm still not done unpacking, so probably no. But
okay. Yeah, so that was kind of my big news.
Ask Amisha.
Oh,
she moved recently. She probably needs stuff.
Yeah. So I have a lot of things to do over the next, not even like month, really, like just a couple weeks. Yeah. So I'm a little stressed. Dead on the inside too, but it's okay. That was my big life update. Thanks for sticking around to the end.
That's huge.
It is huge. I'm a little nervous. Yeah, excited. It's very bittersweet. Like, I'm not from Osaka, so it's not like I'm uprooting my entire life, but I have made a lot of like friends and community here, and so a lot of that is just being off in the distance while I move away. But it's not the furthest. But Tokushima is like, I'm moving to Tokushima for anyone who cares.
And Tokushima's really close.
Yeah, it's not like the worst distance.
Drive, like 2 or 3 hours, depending on traffic. Yeah. But depending how far you are.
Yeah. And I think there's like there's the bridge, right? Over Awajishima? Awaji? Yeah. And then I heard there's a boat or something too. So catch me on the ferry, like.
See you in the Whirlpool cruise.
Yeah. So. That's what's happening with me. How about you?
Okay.
All right.
Mine is an embarrassing story. So, I go to get my nails done a couple weeks ago, and when I get to the nail salon, I mean, it's like a 30-minute walk to the nail salon. Where I moved to, I have a local station near me, but if I go to the express station where more shops and stuff are, it's like a 30-minute walk. Sometimes I just want to walk instead of taking the bicycle just to get some more steps in. So but also on part of that walk there's like some farmlands, there's some dirt roads and stuff, and so I get to the nail salon and like it smells a little bit funky. I'm like, oh, maybe somebody has IBS or something.
Okay, your first thought is that all right?
I'm thinking like maybe somebody has a stomach ache because hot girls have IBS,
honestly,
who knows? I'm not judging.
Hot girls have tummy problems.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then after that, I have to pick up something at the dry cleaner. I go to the supermarket, and the sneakers that I was wearing, they, like the bottom of the shoes, like little stones get stuck in them all the time. And I can feel it when I'm walking, the stone scraping, and it really annoys me. So I go to look at my shoe, assuming there's some stones in there that I have to pick out. I stepped in a huge pile of dog shit.
That is like my worst fear.
So here I am at the nail salon. I'm like,
and you're like, ooh, stinks.
It's me. It was me.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Oh no.
And then, I was so mortified. I found like some grass to
scrape it off with one little blade of grass.
I got home. I hosed them down.
Yeah,
they've been outside for.
Do they stink
like 2
still?
weeks now. I don't know.
Like the thing about dog shit is like it stinks so bad and for so long. I don't know what it is about just dog poop specifically. It lingers, yeah. But I'm so sorry. Did anyone in the nail salon like say anything too, or were you just kind of thinking it to yourself?
Well, luckily they wear masks anyway. Okay. So they probably didn't smell anything.
Yeah, they're probably like huffing nail fumes and stuff, like nail dust. Exactly. So they're probably just like, they can't even smell anything at that point. I asked because it would have been like way more embarrassing if you were just in the salon getting your nails done and then you go, you guys smell that? You're like,
I'm not that close with them.
You're just like, ooh, like something kind of stinks, huh? I thought you were going to say like, you thought it was somebody, but it turns out because you live by farmland, everywhere smells like that or something, something silly, but no, it was the dog poo.
It was my doo-doo shoe.
The doo-doo.
My shoe-doo.
You shoe-doo. I feel like that exists, that product on like as seen on TV or something. Why does that sound so familiar? Shoe-doo? I don't know. Maybe. Oh no. Well, good thing you never knew me when I was living up in the Inaka when I used to live in Chiba, because that town specifically was mostly farmland, and so as soon as you entered that town, you're like, oh, I must be in that town because it smells like shit like 24/7.
Oh my.
Yeah, but like not dog poo, level, like
manure,
yeah, like horse and cows level. So it wasn't as bad as that, but oh no. Are you gonna go back to that nail salon ever again?
Oh, I did the other day because I needed a
repair. You like went back? Okay.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, there's that girl that smells like shit.
Smelly girl.
Oh no, hopefully wearing different shoes this time.
Yeah. I was. Yeah. But also, Takashi had a similar story. Like, he was somewhere out on a shoot, and he was on some island, and he was like, oh, everywhere on this island kind of stinks.
It's him. With his shoe. Is this like, I was about to say something, but let me ask you first.
We're the poop couple.
I don't know. You guys just smell like shit 24/7. Is this a Hawaii thing, or you guys say it too? We're like, when I was a kid, and if I was like, ugh, something stinks, my mom or whoever would be like, it's your upper lip. Like, is that like a Hawaii thing? Maybe it is then, yeah. Because I was going to say, when you're talking about Takashi being like, oh, like, this whole island smells, I was going to be like, it was his upper lip. But I was like, maybe that doesn't make sense to you. Yeah. I see. Oh, no. Well, that means that, did he step in it on the island then, or he like carried it from your house?
I assume he stepped on it on the island.
I hope so, because if he stepped in it around the same area as your house, that means there's a culprit out there who is not picking up their dog's poo, and they need to be shamed.
I have been very vigilant since that happened to me, and I'm noticing a lot of dog poop on the streets. What is with the people in this neighborhood not picking up?
I wonder if that's like an Inaka thing almost, because they're just like, well, like, we don't need to worry about it. No one's around here. No one lives here. Because it is very quiet, like where you live. But who knows? I hope it's not, I don't know what's worse, it being the same person who never picks up their shit, or just everyone in the neighborhood who like collectively doesn't pick up the shit.
Ooh, good question. The people that I have seen walking their dogs are picking up after them, so I wonder if it's like at nighttime or something, and they're just like, nobody will notice.
I hear that's a big thing in like cold states in the US, for example, like New York. People don't pick up their dog shit in like winter because I don't know why, it's like so cold, and they're like, it'll like solidify or whatever. Is that like something Japanese people? Well, I'm like surprised that you've seen so much poo around, because Japanese people, culture shock for me when I first saw it here was that usually when dogs like pee on like, you know, like light posts or whatever, people have a water bottle and they'll just like spray or what do you call it, like squirt the area so it doesn't leave that acidic, you know, stench and whatever on it. So considering they go that far for pee, you would think people would be more vigilant about poop, but I guess not.
Yeah. I don't know. Inaka things, maybe.
Just Inaka things, perhaps. You just living in a pile of poop.
Yeah. But you know how sometimes people say it's good luck if a bird poops on you?
Oh, yeah?
So Rosa was trying to make me feel better. She's like, I'm sure there's somewhere in the world
you're going to get some money.
Stepping on dog poop is good luck. And I was like, I don't think so, but Google it just in case. And Google is like, no. Do not step in dog poop. It's unsanitary.
You gotta turn it into like a, what is it called? Like a kotowaza, not an idiom, but like a phrase like, poop on your shoe, good for you, or something. Poop on your shoe, lucky you.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah. Let's make it good luck to make me feel better.
Would you rather get shat on by a bird or step in dog poo?
I think bird poop.
Really?
Yeah. It's smaller.
I guess so, yeah. It's like
and
easier
it doesn't
to wipe
really
off.
stink.
Yeah, even on your... Oh, that's true too. Yeah. All right. I'll think of a higher stakes question next time.
Okay. Alrighty.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for listening, watching, and we'll catch you with a
not happier, but not
some other topic. I don't know the order
death.
that it's gonna go in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're back in our moody phase. We're being a little emo these next couple episodes. Yeah,
but it's interesting. So yeah. All right.
It's not a phase. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And as always, see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. I'm dead. I'm alive again.
Oh, that was 1 hour.